It's DK and I'm back today with another video. And if you're a part of the crew, you already know what to do. Throw them C's up! Throw them C's up in the comment section below. Guess what? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, this is something that I did have to make. I thought about this morning, and I thought this was a good topic to talk about as far as the cargo van business goes. Now, let me start off by saying this. I know most of you guys that have a cargo van or are thinking about getting a cargo van, your first thought about owning a cargo van is that is all of the money. Once you buy the van, then you don't have to worry about everything else. The money just gonna start flowing in. But that's not how it goes. I'm gonna give you guys an example. When I first started doing real estate, I took the real estate class, I passed the exam. This exam was the hardest exam I've ever took in my entire life, right? But that wasn't the hard part. The hard part was getting the clients. Getting a real estate license is hard at the time, but after that, you also have to get the clients, and that's how you're gonna make the money. The cargo van is not just going to generate money for you. You have to go out there and find different ways to generate that money. The same thing as real estate. You get your license, and then you have to go out there and get clients so you can make that money like it ain't funny. Now, I just want to start off with that. So don't think just because you bought this cargo van that you're automatically going to make money. That is not how it really goes in real life. So I'm going to tell you guys the problems you're going to have while owning this cargo van business. You're going to run into some issues. Now I understand that you may see my videos or you may see other content creator videos and think that it's super easy and it's super sweet and you're going to go with your van, you're going to go out there. That's not how it really goes in real life. You're going to run into some challenges. The question is, are you going to be able to face these challenges, and are you going to get further on with the business while going through these challenges? Now, there's multiple different ways you can make money with this cargo van. Number one is something that I've done, and that is the gig apps. Now, the gig apps work great when they work great, but when they don't, they don't. What I mean by that is the gig apps are not consistent. Sometimes you're going to have some great weeks, some great months, some great days. You're making 500, 400, 300 all the time, right? And then majority of the time it's going to come to a standstill where, look, the money ain't coming in like that no more. Just like it's going on right now. That's the reason why I stopped going out as much as I was before, because it just didn't make sense for me to sit around in these parking lots and wait for these orders. No orders come in. But when it was good, it was great. When I was getting those Sun One orders all the time, I'm talking about it was great. I'm making 300, 400, and 500 in 3 and 4 hours. It was excellent. So that's one of the issues you're going to have if you plan on doing just gig apps. It's not going to be consistent. So you got to keep that in mind. You also want to make sure that you always have money set aside for situations like this. So before you get in this van and do what you think you're going to do, make sure you guys consider that. Number two thing is you can also go out there and get you a dedicated route. I hear a lot about dedicated routes. Everybody like dedicated routes is the way, dedicated routes is the way. And I actually me personally, I don't like dedicated routes because it seems like it take up too much of your time. So let me give you guys an example. You got a dedicated route, you're making $270 to $300 a day. It's consistent Monday through Friday. You boom, 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 every day you're going out there and getting busy. But this might take you 8 hours, 10 hours, depending on the route. The routes vary. So I'll put one up there right there. So that route right there is you're going to be delivering medical equipment, and you're going to get paid $1,350 to $1,500 a week. Now, they're not telling you that it may take you 8 to 10 hours a day to make this money. So you're going to make between $270 to $300 a day doing this route. But you also got to make sure you consider this. You also have to consider, like right now, it's snowing outside. So now, instead of it taking you 8 to 10 hours, it take you 12 to 14 hours to do this route. You got to go through the rain, the sleet, the snow. No matter the weather, you have to go do this dedicated route. They don't care about you being sick. They don't care about your kids sick. They don't care about any of that stuff. You must go do this route Monday through Friday. You signed a contract saying that you're going to do this route Monday through Friday. And if you don't do this route Monday through Friday, guess what? Somebody else is going to take your route. And now you are out of luck, Chuck, with the dedicated route. So you got to keep that in mind. Next, over the road. Look, over the road is where everybody want to be. Everybody want to be over the road. Everybody think they're going to make all this buku money, generate all this money doing over the road. But I'm going to tell you right now, you must be built to go over the road. It's not sweet. It is not easy. You think you're just traveling the world. You're going to this state. You're seeing this. It is not what you think. And you're also going to be sleeping in the vehicle unless you're going to get a hotel. And then if you get a hotel, guess what? Now you are taking away some of your money. And don't forget, majority of the people who go over the road, they're not home that often. So you might be going off for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, or you might be going Monday through Saturday. You come home Sunday for a little rest and you go back out there again. Or maybe you do Monday through Friday, but you're going 5 days in a row. So you got to keep that in mind. Also, this is very important. You must know your cost per mile. Huge shout out to Mark the Mentor. He's the one that brought the whole cost per mile thing to the forefront when it comes to going over the road. How much is it really costing you to run this business? This really got to keep in mind. I understand you see the videos, you see people making 600, 700, 800 and 12 hours and all that stuff, but how consistent is that going to be? And also, how much is it costing you to run a vehicle? Don't forget, you got to pay for insurance. You got to have that $1 million insurance. Don't forget about that. When we had that $1 million and $100,000 cargo insurance, we was paying, I think, like $450 or $500 or something like that. And that's in certain states it's more. So you got to consider that. So over the road, I understand you want to go over the road, but that's something you got to think about. Again, if you have a family, you got to consider this. Now, next we're going to talk about a mixture between doing gig gaps and dedicated routes, which is a good mixture. You got the dedicated route and you do the gig gaps, but it also depends on when you are going to be, like, your time window. When is your route start? When you have to start your route, when you have to end your route. And also, when does these products have to be delivered to the customer? So you might have a little time in between. You do a couple gigs here, you do your some run order, do this order, do that order. But let me ask you this question. Now, you got the mixture. You're getting busy, you're out there making money. Let me ask you this. Now, you got these sun runners, you got your van, you got the high top, you got the same one I got. You got this van, right? You getting busy. You got these orders popping up, these sun run orders, and you are seeing, mind you, you're getting paid $270 to $300 a day to do this route. You're seeing these sun orders popping up, and they're paying $100 to go 20 miles. You do 20 panels and a battery, and you're making $100, and you're doing this in about an hour. My question to you is this. Now, this is going to be a hard decision. Now, you're getting these consistent now, but it's hot outside. My question to you is this. Are you going to start thinking about, is this dedicated route really worth it? I'm making, in an hour, I'm making $100, and it's taking me 8 to 10 hours to do this route, and I'm only making $270 to $300. Should I just quit the route and do the gig apps? This is something that might cross your mind while you're doing this, because you're steady getting these orders, but you ain't thinking about later on when it gets cold outside or when the weather changes or anything like that, that everything is going to switch up. It's not going to be all these orders out like you think it's going to be. And then again, in your head, you're going to be thinking you're wasting your time doing this dedicated route. Like, why am I steady doing it? I'm taking 8 to 10 hours. That don't make sense. I can go over here, get this in an hour, get this money, and I can go do that. Look, this is something that's going to cross your mind. So make sure you guys think about that. These are all the issues and problems you're going to run into while you're doing this cargo van business. Next up, we have this. Moving. Now, moving ain't for everybody. From what I hear, moving, you're going to make the most money doing moving. But with this van, you are going to be limited to the items you can move. Like, if you can move a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, you're going to be limited to how much stuff you can move with doing moving with the van. So you got to consider that. Now, you can make some great money moving, but then you got to think about this. Do you have a reliable helper to help you move? You got to consider this, because if you don't, what you going to do? Now, also, you could be paying them $20 to $30 an hour, but is that really enough for people to move nowadays? Because think about this. They can go do DoorDash. They don't want no boss either. They can go do DoorDash. They can go do Uber Eats, and they can make $20 to $30 an hour just doing that without lifting heavy items, without sweating bullets and all that stuff. You sweating out your shirt. They ain't got to worry about that stuff if they do Uber Eats and DoorDash. So are you going to be able to find a reliable helper to actually help you do this moving? Now, you could go this route, and you could say, you know what? I'm only going to do moves that the customer is going to help me do. So it's going to be me and the customer moving all the stuff. But now you are limiting how much money you are going to make doing the moving. So this is another thing you got to think about. And last but not least, we have junk removal. This is what I always get comments about. It's a great idea, but let me give you guys some game. I learned this game from Mark the Mentor. Look, once you start doing junk removal, you're pretty much going to have to stick with that. This is what I mean by that, right? So if you're doing junk removal, you're removing all this junk. You don't know what these people got in their houses or wherever you picking up this stuff from. They can have termites, they can have lice, they can have bed bugs, all in this stuff. You have no idea. All you doing is removing the stuff and putting it in your van. Now, how are you going to do that and also want to move someone else's couch? Now you done got the termites, you got all this different stuff on these other people's property. You got to think about that. Also, you might be saying, you know what, I want to do some of everything. I want to do junk removal, I want to do deliver orders, ZIFTY orders, deliver that orders. You ain't think about you putting all that junk back there, and now you have someone's food in the back of your van. Just getting contaminated right there. So this is something you got to think about if you're going to be doing junk removal, which I think junk removal is a good idea, but I think you have to have do the proper research and have the proper equipment for the junk removal, because once you get these termites and lice and bed bug stuff back there, what you gonna do then? This is something you got to think about. So these are all the problems you're gonna run into. Now, I'm telling you, I'm making this video and telling you guys this because this is going through my head right now as we speak. Now, the dedicated routes is cool and all, but is it really worth it to me? Am I really am I really willing to work 8 to 10 hours to make $200 doing the dedicated route? Now, mind you, I'm gonna be out. I could get some other orders, but what is the time window on doing the dedicated route? Can I find reliable help doing the moving? Gig apps, the gig apps cool. Me personally, I like the gig apps the most because you in and out, you do your thing and then you gone. But guess what? It's not consistent. So over the road is not for me. I went to St. Louis, came back. It was critical, 12 hours of drive. It's real, it's not sweet. I understand that you see the video. It is not sweet at all. So this is what you got to consider. Now, my question to you is, what do you use your van for? Like, do you use it for gig apps? Do you use it for OTR? If you don't have a van and you're planning on getting a van, what are your plans? Because again, this is why I made this video. This is something that you guys want to think about before you purchase a van or why you do have this van. Again, you're going to have to do a lot of research. Comment below and let me know. What do you use your van for, or what do you plan to use your van for? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video right here helps you guys out a lot, because I'm here to help y'all go out there and go and get this dough and get it popping like Crisco. And I will see you guys on the next video. Make sure you lock in tomorrow, because it's going back down, because we ain't playing around. Because all 2025 is going to be a great time to be alive. And don't forget, unlimited disguise. I'll see you guys on the next one. We flowing. You already know it is DDK, and I'm on my way.